So we're working on that. So I'm gonna talk about basically dealing with kids, okay? And for me, a kid is 1 year of age up until 18, okay? That's a kid.
It is.
And the kids come in a whole lot of different sizes and shapes. When you talk about CPR and doing CPR on a kid, you have to look at the size of the kid, so it will matter, okay? To whether you treat them like an adult or like a kid, but we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. So, you know, you're at a camp, you're out in the woods, easy things. They fall down, twist an ankle, they scrape their knee or hands, minor little bleeding like that, right? What do you think you guys would do for an abrasion? That's a scraped knee.
Clean it and then put a Band-Aid or something on it.
Right. So get them to calm down.
Yeah, calm them down first.
Yep, yep. Breathing is a good thing. So, you know, when they're doing that screaming thing where they're not breathing anymore, you want to get them to calm down and breathe. Then, if you can get it cleaned up, nice warm soap and water, and don't scrub, just pat around it, get it a little bit clean. You know, even a squirt gun with some water in it to flush the dirt out of the abrasion is a great thing. Put a Band-Aid on it and let them go.
May I ask you a question about
Yes.
that? I'm going to have that blue Johnson & Johnson, it's just a cleaner, and it's a septic cleaner, I think it's
Yep.
called, but it doesn't sting.
Yeah,
That's going to be in each of their, okay, just want to make sure that.
Yep, that is perfect too. I
Okay.
wasn't sure what you're gonna have.
Yeah,
So-
each little group's going to have a little fanny pack
Yep.
with some of the stuff.
Now, hopefully, these are practice gloves because these are food grade. They're not medically rated. But this is also something you will need to put on before you touch the person. Okay, it's to protect you and it's to protect them.
And you'll have non-latex ones in there, because we have one kid with a latex allergy.
Yep, perfect. So, if they got, you know, they're leaking a little bit, you can give them a 4x4 and it's basically a little piece of gauze and it's usually covered, you know, it's sealed in a container. So you open that up, hand this to them and just say, here, hold it on your boo-boo, hold it on your knee while I put my gloves on. That gives them something to do that. It empowers them to calm down and help fix themselves, okay? And that can really get them just to think, wow, I can do this myself. Then you put your gloves on, and these are huge. I don't wear extra larges. So, got our gloves on. And it's real simple, you know, like I showed you. Put it on, you might fold it up depending on how much blood is coming out. You might use 2 or 3 of these. Okay, and then you can either wrap it. This is why I don't have gloves. I don't know if you got this self-adhesive wrap in your little, this has been used quite a lot of times.
Yeah, so easy enough, I can pick some of that up. That
Yeah,
looks
it's
easy to
real
use,
easy.
yeah.
The biggest problem is you want to make sure you do it
Done a bunch of Band-Aids, that'd be easy.
fairly loose. You don't want to get too tight and cut off their circulation, and it's really easy to do that. And we'll practice with that in a couple of minutes. Now, the key for taking off soiled gloves, and this is why these are on right now, and I want to show you how to do this part. So you got, you know, blood up around the fingers. You don't want to go touching other things. So if you can have another person helping you, you want to try to keep the blood on the patient and on your hands, not everywhere else. Okay? So the way to take off the gloves is you pinch down here, bring it forward, and get your thumb out, but then you can pinch here, bring this one all the way off, and then back in here where it's clean, slide it right over so it's all folded up nice and neat inside of each other. And then that can get thrown in some trash.
And you guys only really need to know this if for some reason I'm not really close by.
Yep.
I don't have the full first aid training, and what I have is really old, but I also was one of those nursing assistants, so I've had to do all that glovey stuff. So, I mean, but you do need to know just in case. What if you were on your way to the little theater and I was back bringing all the slower kids or whatever. So you do need to know this just in case. I would really love to believe that I'm going to be right there if anything really nasty happens. You could have the kid take their little thing and hold it while I run over there.
Yep.
I just in case. and you know, I don't think I've ever had a major, anything more than a tiny Band-Aid, but you just, you
You
know,
don't know.
don't want
You
this to
don't
be
know.
the first year and nobody knows what to do.
Right. So kid twists their ankle. What do you think you're gonna do?
Not have them walk on it.
That's right. Get them to calm down again. And somebody can go get Maggie, or you wait for Maggie to get there, and you can ask them simple questions, how bad does it hurt? Can you wiggle your toes? Very simple, can you wiggle your toes? Can you point your toe? Can you bend it back and forth? And they may say, no, I can't, it absolutely hurts, it's broken. Okay, just relax, take it easy, let's let Maggie get here, and then she can take a look at it and figure out if it's just something. Now we take them to the couch and we
Right.
elevate it, put some ice on it, and we see if they get better. Because a game gets really cool, or they want to do this part, guess what?
It's,
Here
yes.
I go.
Yep.
I want that part.
Yep.
They're miraculously healed. Happens a lot, but sometimes it may not, and that's where Maggie can come in and make the call.
Make
We
the
need to
phone
call the
calls, right.
parents.
Right.
And get it going.
And each of the little bags are gonna have those squishy cold things.
Cool. Yes. Plus, the camp probably has ice.
Tons of ice in there, yes.
So,
Yeah.
just make sure that you don't put the ice directly on the skin. You want to put a
Right.
cloth between so you don't frostbite them. Cool. Question?
No, I said yup.
Yep, okay. The other thing you may come across, other than mosquito bites, horsefly bites, and getting stung. So what do you think you'd do for those three things?
Have them try not to itch their bites because I've had a case where I itched a bite and it spread.
Mm-hmm. So yep, try not to itch. So even putting ice on that can help. Calm it down. Sometimes they swell up, especially if it's a bee sting or.
Want it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Put some ice on it. Get them to stay calm again, and then ask them questions. Have you ever been stung before? Did you ever react to it? And you may have to watch them because it sometimes can take 3 to 4 times to get stung before they may actually develop anaphylactic and go into anaphylactic shock. So watching them, watching if they start having trouble breathing. Do you guys know what normal breathing looks like? Look around the room. Normal breathing.
Easy and quiet.
Right. So if you start hearing a wheezing sound, or they're having problems. There's something going on.
And that would be a 911 call.
That's a
And
911
followed
call.
by a call to the parents, right?
Yes, definitely. And it may be within 15 minutes after being stung. It might be a little bit longer. But usually, if you're past 30 minutes, I wouldn't think you'd see something. But you never know. Everybody is different.
Especially the kids.
And kids are very different. You just don't know with them.
No EpiPens this year that I know of so far.
Cool.
I'm waiting for one family to get back to me. I would carry EpiPens, and I really was so rarely that far apart. I'll just be the one with the EpiPens.
Yeah, because It's-
We had to train in schools for teachers. And,
right,
yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
In the leg,
Yeah.
count to 10,
Yeah.
then rub it.
Well,
and
it's
then-
almost the same thing as I was giving myself those Enbrel shots. It's
Yeah.
almost the exact same thing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. And if you use a pen, it's a 911 call
Right.
because they don't last long.
Right.
So,
But so far, I'm just waiting for one more set of. It would be the first year we don't have an EpiPen if that happened.
Cool.
Yeah.
cool. But it does sound like there's a child with cerebral palsy.
Yep.
And she uses aids. So it sounds like she's very independent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have questions, ask her.
And she has braces on her legs. Sometimes uses a walker. Probably in our flatter areas, she might go around with a walker. But otherwise, she'll hold someone's hand and get away. And the mother, I know the mother really well. She's actually my niece, and she's been here before when it's Carter's sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so she knows the whole area and the whole layout. And I've talked to the woman who owns it there, Lisa Burr, and we're going to be using a little golf cart to
Oh,
get her
cool.
down. So whoever's with her that day, probably Erin, I'll have somebody, of course, will go down with her with Lisa driving the cart down. So
Cool. But she will tell you, I'm sure, and obviously you don't need to baby her. Ask her, do you need help?
Right.
And then just be aware if she's looking like she's getting tired or slow down.